Hey guys, thanks for swinging in for a little THG. So today we're heading back down to Angel Tree Farm, the horse rescue that I did my last video on, and this time it's going to be to visit Brianna. She does wool and wool products. She knows how to spin and card and comb and all of this stuff, and so we're going to go and see her today, and hopefully I'm going to get to be able to use my spinning wheel and actually spin something. So I'm super excited about that. So come along and let's go. I'm so excited for this. Yes. Where's Katie at? I mean, Katie. I mean.
Started spinning last year. My neighbor got some sheep. My neighbor got a sheep, then the sheep popped out babies. And so I fell in love with the sheep and the babies.
Right.
And I kept on going over and making friends with the sheep because the sheep was borderline feral at first.
Oh.
And now she's not. Now she's very friendly. She comes up to me and tries to frisk me for treats because she knows I have treats.
Right. She knows that you're the one. Yeah.
And I first sheared her. Actually, let me go grab my hand shears and I can show you what I
Okay.
So
Okay.
these are the shears I sheared my first sheep with.
Okay.
It took me 2 days. And I got very, very blistered because I'd never used them before. With young animals, the sound that these suckers make is scary.
Yeah.
They do not want to hear it.
Yeah.
And it's easier to hurt an animal with these than it is with these because this is a slower process.
Right.
Now, when you're doing a massive flock, you need this.
Right.
Because it's just impossible to spend 2 days shearing one sheep. Now that I have more sheep, it's becoming a bit more difficult for me to use hand shears to shear.
Just to do hand shears, right.
And I'm so scared of these that I've only used them once.
Yeah.
Because I keep worrying that I'm going to hurt Shayla, and I did hurt her. I nicked her a few times, and I felt really bad.
Yeah.
But I got her with some blue coat and some scarlet oil, so she's in good shape now.
That's good.
And she definitely feels a lot better than the vibrating, and these will also burn the animal if it takes you too long, because the engine heats up.
Okay.
So if you're getting too close to the skin, or you've been going for too long, you'll burn an animal using electric shears.
Wow. And you've been doing this for a little while now.
Yeah, about a year now.
Yeah.
I started, I think it was May of last year where I started visiting Shayla, trying to get her to be nice to me by giving her alfalfa pellets.
Alfalfa is a treat for those sheep, isn't it?
Yeah. I will not wear my shoes while I'm spinning because I'm not as connected with my wheel.
Yeah.
I just don't spin as well.
You don't spin as well?
Not even.
That's good info. And
So,
you know what?
I was barefoot or socks.
Yeah. Okay.
So these are Rolags that I actually carded yesterday.
Good for you.
This is rose gray alpaca.
Okay.
And my cards are in with that's uncarded alpaca.
That's uncarded. Okay. Okay.
So basically, I haven't spun in a little while because I've been busy setting this whole thing up. So I get this. This is the tension. This keeps it tight so that the bobbin stays in place while the flyer spins.
Okay. Okay. Oh.
Now, I've only been using a wheel since you passed it over to me. What was it? It was late summer, early fall.
Yeah, about a year ago, working on it anyway. Yeah.
And so that was the first time I ever used a wheel, and I wanted to throw it out the window.
Yeah.
I thought it was the most worthless thing. I started on the wheel, and I was just like, okay, this is so incredibly stupid. I'm sticking with this. I'm sticking with this. I hated it. I was so
You were so mad. Oh.
I could not get it to work.
Really?
I spent like 3 days just madder than a hornet.
Yeah, just
because I could not figure out how to make it work.
And I can't figure it out either, which is why it's in my truck so that you can teach me because I have no.
Yeah, I thought it was the most worthless thing.
Yeah.
And even with this one, I thought it was so worthless until I figured out how to get it to work for me.
Yeah.
And
so it just takes time.
It just takes time.
Okay.
So when I'm getting ready to actually spin, I start tightening this up until I've got enough tension to start pulling. And right now I'm going to merge the strand I left off earlier with this.
Okay.
I have not yet figured out how to do this with one hand. That's something I didn't even figure out when I was using a, oh gosh, I just completely forgot the word for that. Stick. I'm just calling it a stick.
Drop spindle?
Drop spindle. There's the word.
There we go. All right.
English is not my first language. Yeah, I'm a complete and total liar. But
Wow, look at you go. I love
for
this.
Traditional, I actually have the books up there where
Okay.
you can look through and see what
Okay.
Ashford products there are available.
Okay. Wait.
Books when I bought this loom, which was $60.
Oh.
And oh my gosh, I nearly cried.
How the universe is talking to you is just crazy.
I honestly can't believe
it's so awesome.
This wheel is one of the most incredible stories I have.
Okay.
So last year, a couple weeks before Christmas, I'd started the guild because I wanted to meet other spinners.
Right.
And one of the first people who actually posted that they were selling their wheel.
Yeah.
And I decided, you know what? I saw this first, I'm calling dibs.
Yeah.
So I messaged her, this lady, Amanda Sowers. It's the most amazing lady I've ever met. She's so awesome.
Okay.
She has looms, she sells her stuff, she is incredible.
Where's she located?
She's in Manaway.
Oh, okay.
So she's right over there.
Okay.
I think she was gonna come today. I'm not sure if she'll actually be able to make it or not.
Okay.
But I messaged her and was like, hey, I'd love to buy your wheel. If you're actually gonna get rid of it, 'cause she was going down to buy a new one.
Oh, okay.
So,
Katie's a part of this story.
yeah, Katie's part of this story. And
A
so
very small part.
I had no
I
idea
am
what
hardly
was
in
going
it at
on.
all.
So I messaged her saying that I'd like to buy her wheel. And she says, well, I can give it to you for $300. And I'm like, okay, that's incredibly fair, because usually this wheel is $675.
Wow.
So I was more than willing to pay $300. I asked her to hold it for me while I got that money in hand. Then she dropped it to $250. And I nearly started crying.
Wow.
And
Wow.
at this point is when she messages you, because she can't get a hold of my mom.
Okay. Yeah.
And she messages you.
I remember that now.
And
Okay.
you tell my mom to get on Facebook because there's a lady who wants to talk to her.
Yeah.
And this was all happening without my knowledge.
Yes, this was a big I do remember that part. Amanda was like, okay, this is a secret.
This is a secret. Do not tell her.
Yeah.
So she messages you. You got my mom to go onto Facebook and talk to her. And this is after the fact I found out that Amanda planned with you two to give this wheel to me.
Yes.
And this wheel is not the only thing she gave. She gave me these bobbins, this Lazy Kate. There was some yarn that came with it, some wool. Actually, some of the spun stuff up there is yarn, is wool that she gave to me to practice with.
Wow.
She gave me those hand carders.
Oh, wow.
So those carders alone are $75.
Wow. Wow.
So I'm in her house and I had bags of change with me because
Yeah.
I had $140.
Yeah.
And I'd been crying at it being $250. And Mom had told me that she would give me the rest of the money, which I didn't know that she didn't need to give me the rest of the money. So I bring in bags of change.
Right.
And she's like, you sure you really want it? You sure? And I'm like, yes, this thing is amazing. I love it. And then she says, then it's yours. And it takes me a minute to realize what she's saying. I'm like,
Right.
okay, let me go get the money. She's like, no, it's yours. And I just kind of, I'm pretty sure I went white.
I'm sure you
Very,
did.
very white.
Yeah.
And then I started crying. It's so embarrassing. I'm crying in this lady's living room.
Yeah.
But she gave me this wheel.
How awesome of her. What a wonderful gift.
Yeah, and it was the most amazing Christmas gift.
Oh, I'm sure. What that is totally
I
incredibly.
couldn't have asked for anything more amazing. Like even the alpaca I'm spinning right now, I didn't buy this.
Right.
I went down and spent 9 hours shearing 65 alpacas.
You bought it.
In trade
Yeah.
for alpaca fleeces.
So you had that
I got 3.
ability
You
to
were
trade.
given one. This is the one that I wanted to keep because its color is so stunning.
Right. Now.
Each raffle ticket is going to be $1 and you just put on your name and number.
Oh.
So
Okay.
for an alpaca fleece, it's normally upwards of $200.
Oh my God.
So right now I'm transferring this from this hook to
Okay.
this one.
Okay.
That way I can get this as even as I can, and I've been spinning on that for too long.
Okay. So now it's going to come over here.
Now it's going
Or
right
gonna go
here.
over there. Okay.
And then when I transfer it to that hook, it will go
It'll
right
go
there.
over there. Okay. Okay.
So right now, I just get it
So that
started,
was easily transferred. Okay.
Yep.
Wow.
and it's not gonna. I'm gonna start.
Oh, you just set it on there like that.
Yep,
Okay.
I do this. So there's another way to do it, which is the way that you taught me, where you draw it out and make a loop. But
Right.
that can make a bump in your yarn.
Oh.
So if you do this, that way, and see how much fiber there is still left on
right,
this one.
right.
That way there's enough there that it holds together.
Okay.
If you only do
Gotcha.
it with a little tiny bit, then it will just pull away from itself.
I see. Okay. So it
But-
has to have a good
Yeah, you have
good
to have enough
handful.
there that it
Okay.
will blend together.
This is fascinating. I love how relaxed you look doing this. It is so peaceful to
It's
just
like meditation. I'll be
Yeah.
doing this while we're watching TV. I'll be listening to music. I'll be working on a post on Facebook. And I will say this alpaca is an absolute dream to spin.
to spin.
It
Okay.
is so soft.
Yeah.
It's like spinning butter.
Wow.
I need to get finer cards, which is something I think I'm going to buy while I'm in Colorado.
Oh.
I'm hitting
Okay.
a little tiny shop over there that I love. It's so adorable. It's
Oh, my
called
goodness.
Lamb Spun.
Oh.
It's
how
It's
fun.
run by these older ladies. They have like classes they teach on Facebook. They're amazing.
Oh, wow.
I went there before I had a wheel, when I was just working on that drop spindle,
Uh-huh.
and I still had no clue what I was doing.
Right.
And yeah, I went there to figure out what I wanted in a wheel. And I kind of realized at that point, you know what, I could learn on any wheel because none of these look particularly difficult, and I got to experiment with a couple.
Oh, cool.
Just working with double and single treadles, Ashford, Luettes. and
What did you think of the double treadles?
They were confusing, and I don't like them as much as I like.
Really? Because that is the kind I really want is a
It's like
double.
trying to
But
bicycle, trying
Is
to
it-
ride a bike. It's like it's way more effort to use both feet than
Than
it is
just-
to just relax and only use one.
so it's more relaxing with one.
This,
Okay.
for me at least,
Okay.
I know
Yeah.
some people who swear by double,
Right.
Because that way, even you can use a single. You can use only a single of the double treadle.
Mhm.
If you
Oh.
need to, that way you can just be working with this foot.
Right.
But I'm
Right.
a righty,
Okay.
and no.
Yeah.
no.
Just no.
It
Okay.
confuses me.
That's good to know because I figured it might be the opposite, but
So not for me. But yeah, I learned on your wheel. Your wheel was amazing because note the size difference between these bobbins
yes.
and the bobbins on your wheel. The bobbins
Yes.
on your wheel are about 3 times the size of one of these.
Right. Right.
Which means I can turn out 3 bobbins in one day on this.
Mm-hmm.
But on your wheel I could get maybe 1.
Wow.
So that's about the only benefit here with the smaller bobbin size. The bigger bobbin size allows you to makes plying easier.
Okay. Okay. That's good. I love the sound.
She's been oiled, so it's pretty quiet right now.
Yeah. What a beautiful place to spin too, right here.
Yeah, this is one of the most relaxing spots. I don't take her outside very often because I'm
Yeah.
worried that she'll get damaged.
Yeah,
Just because I love this wheel so much.
I'm sure you do.
Her name is Cleofa. I
Cleofa.
just call her Cleo.
Cleo. Fitting name. Very cute. You're incredible.
This is a hobby I never thought I'd find myself doing.
Yeah. It kind of came out of nowhere.
I kind of just face planted into it.
Yeah, you really kind of did, huh?
My neighbor got sheep, and then everything else fell into my lap
Yeah.
from that point.
From that point on.
And then I got the sheep,
And then,
and
Here
I
you are.
I face planted into
Yep.
the hobby.
yep,
There was no planning; it just
Yeah.
happened,
it just happened.
and it was complete luck because right as COVID started,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
I
yeah.
was out of school. I couldn't do my schooling, so I was online. I was
Yeah.
doing online school, and I finished
Right.
all of my classes in 1 month. I
Right,
was bored out of my mind.
right.
I needed something new to do. You got fascinated by ballet black nose,
Yep.
and then decided you wanted to spin at the same time where I was starting to get into it.
Yep.
Then you got your hands on a wheel and let me borrow it, and from then on I was turning out massive quantities of yarn.
You really have been, and I just think that's amazing. And you know what I think is even more amazing is that all of this and your ability and talent, it's all self-taught. It's all self, you
I
know.
didn't want it to be. I wanted
Yeah.
to find people around here to learn from, but there hasn't been anyone.
There really isn't very many people, is there?
Like, I'm the only local
Mm-hmm.
to this town who knows how to spin yarn.
Yeah. In all of Trenton, nobody knows.
No one spins yarn.
It's a dying art, and
It really is.
I purchased my spinning wheel from a dear friend, Maren J. Scott, super talented lady, and she works with wool and fiber of all kinds. I'll have to leave her link below. I finally got to try my hand at spinning. Okay. Okay.
Got Katie working on spinning some yarn that's already been spun that I picked up at the dollar store. It's a good practice exercise to make sure you feel the tension works, how your wheel feels.
This is so awesome. Oh my goodness. Yay! I'm actually doing it. Oh,
So you can see the yarn going through her fingers is much fatter on this side and is beginning to unspin because of the way I set the wheel to spin, and it's respinning itself onto this side. Much tighter. It's a good exercise to figure out how your wheel works.
This is great. And I'm actually, this is so much
So
better
part of the
than-
reason why I started you off on regular yarn instead of your roving is because you have to take breaks with roving in order to tie them together.
Right.
And that's when you lose your rhythm.
Okay.
And so this way you keep your rhythm and figure out how the wheel works and how it feels.
Well, you can feel it. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
I see what you're saying.
And so that's why using bits of Rollags can be a bit too hard when you're first starting out, because you have to take breaks, and that's when your Luette starts spinning the other direction.
Yeah, starts going the other way. Okay. Oh, this is so wonderful. Okay. You
So
found
these are the general books that I found. These came with the loom I bought. Amanda gave me this. These guys I found at the DI. There's a couple other books that I couldn't find, but this is my big star gem. Found that at the dollar store.
Found it at the dollar store.
I can't believe it because it's just got so much gorgeous. I've got a grid I use to determine pricing based on the ply, the quality of the wool that went into it, the dye.
Okay.
Dye puts in extra money because it costs me money to dye.
And time, sure. Yeah.
But
Okay, so
so
what
this
would
one is $15.43.
Okay.
This is alpaca fleece. I've went through and removed almost all of the vegetable matter. You can see there's a little tiny bit right there.
Right.
One little
Okay.
bit.
Yeah.
But the lady I got this from, it was just so high quality that I didn't even need to wash it.
Yeah. Wow.
Like, this is so clean that it doesn't need to be washed.
Doesn't need to be washed.
Susanna Radke.
That's cool.
She's amazing.
Okay.
She has 65 alpacas, and I don't know how she deals with them. They're evil.
Yeah. Oh.
They vomit on you.
Oh, yuck.
I got puked on while I was helping shear them.
Oh, yeah.
And then these are the undyed ones.
Okay, so these are all naturals.
Yep.
Okay. Oh,
This is my
beautiful.
favorite.
That is beautiful.
I love it so much.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
These are acrylics.
Okay.
These are all the rest of these are just regular raw wool.
Yeah. Okay.
I got these all from the Nautilwonk Festival. And this came from Amanda.
That's awesome.
See, this came from Amanda as well.
That is awesome.
And so did that.
Okay.
So, yeah,
All right.
a lot of stuff that
Yeah.
I've just had a lot of luck.
Yeah.
It's been amazing.
That's awesome, Brianna. I'm really happy for you. You have the coolest little setup. Thank you for sharing all that you do with us. Oh, just a quick thank you once again to Brianna. Thank you for allowing us to come and visit with you today. And I will leave Brianna's contact information if you would like to purchase any of her yarn or rovings, or have any questions that you'll be able to contact her. So thank you again. Thank you to all of you for joining us, and come back next time.